In Jerusalem, a major road project is underway, but it's not about easing traffic jams. Archaeologists are opening an ancient path that Jewish worshippers used 2,000 years ago.
In the heart of Jerusalem, a road has reemerged from the dust of history. But this isn't about fixing traffic or modern infrastructure. It's about uncovering an ancient pathway, one that Jewish pilgrims walked 2,000 years ago on their way to the Temple of God. Archaeologists have fully opened what's known as the Pilgrimage Road, stretching from the Pool of Siloam all the way up to the Temple Mount. For centuries it was buried, hidden under layers of rubble since the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. And now, after decades of excavation, it's open again. But this isn't just another artifact for a museum. This road carried the footsteps of worshippers, families, priests, pilgrims, ascending toward the house of God. They sang the psalms of ascent as they climbed, voices rising with every step until they stood in the temple, the dwelling place of the Almighty. And here's what gives us chills. After 2,000 years of silence, this path is alive again. You can walk it. You can touch the stones. You can retrace the very steps of the faithful. The real question is, why now? Is this only about archaeology? Or is this a prophetic sign for our generation? Could the reopening of this road be preparing the way for the third temple? Could it be a whisper that the Messiah's return is closer than we think? To understand the weight of this discovery, let's rewind 2,000 years. The Pilgrimage Road wasn't just a convenient street, it was deliberately built in the 1st century BC under Herod the Great. Cruel as he was, Herod left behind massive construction projects, palaces, fortresses, and the expansion of the Temple Mount itself. Among them was this wide, carefully paved road. Imagine it, stone slabs almost 8 meters across, polished by the sandals of hundreds of thousands of believers. Festivals like Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles turned the road into a living river of worshippers. It wasn't just a walkway. It was an engineering marvel, complete with an underground drainage system, lined with shops and markets bustling with life. Picture the sound: sandals shuffling, children laughing, lambs bleating, merchants calling out, priests reciting prayers. And above it all, the voices of pilgrims rising in song. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." This road was the heartbeat of Jewish worship. But in 70 AD, everything collapsed. The Romans stormed Jerusalem, set the temple ablaze, and buried this road under destruction. For nearly 2,000 years, it lay silent. Until now. Fast forward to the modern era. Archaeologists in the city of David began digging, uncovering nearly 600 meters of this buried highway of faith. They found coins from Jerusalem's final days, pottery, charred remains of Roman fire, even the traces of ancient market stalls. Each discovery confirmed what history and the Bible already said: this was the road to the temple. It began at the Pool of Siloam, the place of cleansing, where worshippers washed and prepared their hearts before the holy ascent. Step by step, they climbed upward, singing the psalms of ascent, songs still preserved in Scripture today. Now, the Bible isn't just words on a page. It's set in stone. But here's where it gets bigger. The restoration of this road is more than archaeology. It's more than tourism. It's prophecy. Because the road's very purpose was to connect the pool to the temple. Which means, if the road is back, is it preparing for a temple that could one day rise again? Think about what's happening today. For years, groups in Israel have been quietly preparing for the possibility of a third temple. Priestly garments have been sewn. Sacred vessels have been crafted in gold and silver. Even a registry of Levitical descendants has been created, men trained in rituals that haven't been practiced since 70 AD. And now, the road itself, the ancient artery of worship, has been restored. Without it, temple rituals can't be fulfilled. With it, The stage is set. Is this coincidence? Or preparation? The Bible is clear. Prophecy points to a temple in the last days. Ezekiel envisioned it. Daniel wrote of sacrifices being stopped. Jesus warned of the abomination that causes desolation, standing in the holy place. Paul said the man of lawlessness would exalt himself in God's temple. For all of this to happen, there must be a temple. And for a temple to function, there must be a road. This road. Which brings us here, to today. The road is open. The vessels are ready. The priests are preparing. And Jerusalem once again is in the spotlight of global attention. The prophets said it would happen. Zechariah declared Jerusalem would be a heavy stone for all nations, and right now, the Temple Mount remains the most contested piece of real estate on earth. Every movement there sends shockwaves across the globe. But prophecy also promises this: Jerusalem is not just a city of conflict. It's the city where the Messiah will reign. The city where peace will finally come. And so, the reopening of this road is not just about stones and history. It's about a stage being set. God is speaking, not in abstract theories, but in real places, tangible discoveries, undeniable signs. The question is not if prophecy is unfolding. It's whether we're paying attention. This ancient road once carried the faithful from cleansing to sacrifice, from the waters of Siloam to the courts of God. And now it's open again, in our generation. Why? Maybe because prophecy is alive. Because God's promises are real. Because history is racing toward its climax. The road is ready. The temple may be next. The Messiah is coming. The only question left is, are you ready to walk the road? Implications for other faiths and humanity. The reopening of Jerusalem's ancient pilgrimage road doesn't just touch Jewish or Christian hearts. Its significance ripples far beyond, reaching into the beliefs of Muslims, and ultimately into the destiny of all mankind. For Judaism, the road is a call back to roots, an echo of the temple era and a stirring of hope for the long-awaited Messiah. It is a tangible reminder that promises made by God thousands of years ago are not forgotten. For Christians, it's both a sign of encouragement and a sobering warning. On one hand, it affirms the reliability of Scripture and points toward the nearness of Christ's return. On the other, it reminds believers that before the glory comes deception, conflict, and testing. The reemergence of this road presses the question: are we ready for the days Jesus described in Matthew 24? For Muslims, the implications are profound as well. The Temple Mount is home to Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, the third holiest site in Islam. Any movement toward rebuilding a Jewish temple would be seen as a direct challenge, sparking political and spiritual tension across the Islamic world. That's why this discovery is not just archaeology, it's geopolitics, it's prophecy, and it's a potential flashpoint for global unrest. And for mankind as a whole, this road is more than stone. It's a mirror. It forces us to confront the reality that Jerusalem, the city of less than 1 million people, is once again the center of global history, just as the prophets said it would be. In a world obsessed with technology, money, and power, here lies a reminder that history's climax won't be written in Silicon Valley or Wall Street, but in the ancient stones of Jerusalem. It tells humanity that prophecy is not locked in dusty scrolls. It is unfolding in real time. And if prophecy is alive, then so is accountability. Every person, every nation, every faith must wrestle with what this means. The road compels us to ask, what are we walking toward? A world of conflict and division, or a world prepared for the reign of peace the Messiah will bring? This discovery, then, is not just about Israel. It is not just about archaeology. It is about all of us. Because if the road is pointing to a new chapter in God's story, then all humanity is part of the stage. Significance to Gen Z and young people today. For Gen Z, this isn't just about dusty stones in Jerusalem. This is about our generation, a global community that's more connected than any before it. Gen Z is growing up in a world defined by constant change, uncertainty, and conflict. Climate shifts, political upheaval, economic pressure, digital overload. It feels like the ground is always shifting. And then, out of the dust, a 2,000-year-old road appears. A reminder that history is bigger than us, but also that we are living in prophetic times. Here's why it matters. Identity and belonging. Gen Z is searching for meaning in a world of noise. The pilgrimage road shows that people have always sought a higher purpose, a path towards something greater. It's a call to rediscover spiritual identity in a culture that often feels shallow. Global awareness. Gen Z is more globally connected than any generation in history. The reopening of this road in Jerusalem isn't just a local event, it's a global signal. Jerusalem is trending not because of fashion or technology, but because prophecy is unfolding in real life. Truth and prophecy. Gen Z has been raised to question everything: institutions, media, even religion. The pilgrimage road isn't theory, it's evidence. Stones you can touch. History that matches scripture word for word. It's the kind of tangible truth Gen Z craves. Urgency and activism. Gen Z is known for activism, fighting for justice, climate, equality. The prophetic stage of Jerusalem reminds this generation that the ultimate justice, peace, and restoration isn't political, but spiritual. It challenges Gen Z to prepare not just for social change, but for eternal change. In short, this discovery is our wake-up call. Gen Z is the first digital native generation, and maybe the last before prophecy's climax. The pilgrimage road isn't just about the past, it's about the future Gen Z will live to see unfold.